So it has been what has it been? Over a year since I started transitioning. I started September 2017 when I realized I was trans. Well, actually I realized in October. I had an inkling when it was September, and I started socially transitioning then, and late July, July 26th, I believe, I started testosterone as a gel, and it has been about a little over 5 months since I started testosterone. Yes, kitty. 5 months, I know. And I haven't done a whole lot of progress videos for a while. I'm not noticing a lot of major changes. There is some changes. I just kind of wanted to do an update video on what's been going on. I was seeing a gender therapist for a while. The one I was seeing has moved on. It was through University of Minnesota. So, you know, when you get a gender therapist, they move around a bit to different things. It's temporary, and I happen to get them at the tail end of their tenure there. So I did stay with a gender therapist for a couple of months, but I found I was doing a lot of the mental work on my own, comparing what I'm going through with what others have gone through, spending time thinking on how I'm perceiving things myself. And I found, no kitty, don't play with the yarn. I found, I don't really need a gender therapist anymore. I've worked through most of what was bothering me. I don't think I'll need one again unless I start seriously considering considering surgery. I am, of course, still seeing my hormone doctor, which is different than my general practitioner. We found the dose that seems to get me up to acceptable testosterone levels. I can no longer take the original name brand testosterone gel because my insurance refuses to cover it without prior authorization, and those don't last very long for testosterone, like maybe 3 months, 6 months at the most, but probably 3 months. And rather than have to fill those out all the time, we just went with generic. Generic has a lower dose of T per pump, and it's a lot thinner. It runs down my arm more than the name brand, so that kind of sucks, but it still gets the job done. I have to do 5 pumps instead of 2 now. Me and my odd doses for medications. My psych meds are on odd dose as well. I haven't had a voice drop yet, as you can probably tell. I thought I did in the beginning, but I think that was new baby tran excitement. I did have a month where I couldn't take testosterone either, like for a couple of weeks. I don't know if that slowed my progress much. I'm not getting a whole lot of body hair, but I am getting some facial hair. I've got some scruff patches on my chin. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one around here. And I have some very faint mustache growth, mostly at the corners of my mouth. The stuff up here is starting to get kind of mustachy, more than what it used to be, but not much. I have to pluck my eyebrows My eyebrows are trying to join in the center here, and I have to pluck them. And I need a nose hair trimmer at this point. At the moment, I'm just taking my craft scissors and sticking them up my nose. So if anybody gets a homemade craft from me, these scissors have been up my nose, and I use them on my crafts. But yeah, my nose hair is threatening to leave my nose. There is some longer peach fuzz growing along here, but it's still peach fuzz. It's not proper body hair, facial hair kind of stuff. I'm not noticing any recession in my hairline yet. Most of my hair loss is pretty average for me. There is some longer hair growing on my hand here. Nothing dark on my hand yet, but it is longer, and I've got some knuckle hairs growing. Arm hair is still pretty faint. Leg hair is about what it usually is, but then again, I have leg problems that kind of prevents a lot of leg hair growth anyway. No stomach hair or chest hair. I don't know what I'm gonna think if I start, growing chest hair, because I still have my original chest. No designer chest for me yet. I am still getting my monthlies, which sucks ass. They did try to put me on suppressants, birth control pills. I was worried the birth control pills would mess with the testosterone levels. Apparently they don't. But they weren't suppressing my period at all. And I took them for quite a few months, and there was no help from them at all. And I tried a couple different prescriptions. And once I went off them completely, I had a full-blown period, which, again, sucks. And I've had another one since, like a month later. Luckily, they don't last very long for me anymore. Ever since I was on birth control pre-trans and went off, my monthly cycle has gone down from 2 weeks originally when I was younger to just 4 days. So that's at least something. I only have 3-4 days of torture. It's probably one of the biggest dysphoria triggers I have right now, because it's just such a feminine thing to have to go through. I get extremely depressed, and I don't know if it's just from the hormone fluctuation. I used to think it was, but I think there's a psychological aspect to it as well. It's just, I don't know. I don't have a vocabulary to describe what it makes me go through. I mean, I'm just thinking about it, I'm kind of nervous. I'm rubbing my thumb on my palm to try to distract me from the discomfort of it. And my voice is kind of getting strained as well. My T levels, like I said, I think they're high for a person my age, for a guy my age. I think free testosterone levels were like 800 and some, and the testosterone that actually does something was like at a 5.1 or something. The free testosterone, I think, should be a couple hundred units lower than what it is for someone close to 40, but I'm not complaining too much. I mean, I've wanted man levels for a while now, and I'm hoping with them being higher, stuff will change, but I'm hoping they're not too high and causing the periods to continue, because too much testosterone will actually convert to estrogen, and that fucks everything up after you've worked so hard to transition medically. I have also started, when my monthlies hit me, I've also been feeling strong urges to go in and get a hysterectomy. I want a hysterectomy very badly, more than I want any other form of surgery down there, more than I want top surgery. I have wanted my uterus removed since I was a teenager. And I can't stand having one. All it does is, like, go on a murder spree once a month, and I'm just covered in blood, and I know it's TMI. It's disgusting, it's smelly, it's not natural, I guess. Like, it's natural, but my brain tells me it's not. And I shouldn't be going through this at all. But I am. I do want that removed. I want just one ovary removed because I want a backup. Just in case I can't get testosterone, I won't be shit out of luck as far as hormones go. And I want my my hole closed up. I don't want anything there. I don't want penetration to be a thing. I shouldn't have a hole. Like, I hate that thing so much. I've never approved of it. And as much as I once enjoyed sex, it feels like violation every time anything goes in there, if that makes sense. Like, even if I'm doing it, it feels wrong. Like, it's not supposed to work this way. And when I did enjoy it, I was kind of messed up, sexually. So, yeah. It's hard to say if I actually genuinely enjoyed it or if stuff led to me not enjoying it. I don't know. Sorry for all the TMI, but yeah. Actually, I'm not that sorry because I have to talk about this stuff for my own sanity anyway. I have socially met a couple people offline in the real world who are also trans. They're trans feminine. One is a full-on trans woman. The other one, she's trans feminine, but she's not quite sure where she sits on the line, I think. They've been a big help for me, even though their experiences are different and there are things I cannot talk to them about just because I don't want to make them uncomfortable regarding our experiences. It helps living in a rural county to be in the presence of other people who are also transitioning or have transitioned. There is a trans masculine person, but I haven't met up with them very often. I think I've only seen them once, actually. But it does, again, help. I just wish that I saw them more often because I feel like I'm the only trans masculine person there at this place where we've met up. I've gone from feeling kind of like I have to defend myself a lot to accepting a lot of things, accepting that I don't quite know where I'm at mentally on all this. Like, I often describe myself as trans masculine and not a trans man. Man doesn't seem to fit at this moment. And I think it's because I can't reconcile my female body with my more masculine brain feelings. I want to be more masculine presenting. I like that I enjoy some things that are considered feminine. I like cute things. Well, there's a lot of cis men who like cute things, so I'm okay with that. My computer is gonna, like, do a thing. I enjoy crafts that are considered feminine crafts, even though cis men do them. I just kind of don't care at this point if something is perceived as feminine and I want to be masculine. It's like, fuck off. I'm going to enjoy the things I enjoy. I have encountered once, only once, so I'm very lucky. I have encountered once a person while I was at a social group who tried to make me explain how I could be masculine while he said a man when I don't have a penis. And I did a lot of thinking since then, because at the time I felt like I had to explain away and defend how I am, kind of, you know. And I've done a lot of thinking, and I've come to understand that no, I didn't have to defend myself. I didn't have to explain jack shit to the guy, because he, being a very conservative person, was very intent on his opinion, and I knew that there was nothing I could say that would change it. And there are people like that, and I'm going to encounter more people like that as I go on through life and become more social. And not everyone is going to see my side or accept that science is on my side, or that psychiatry is on my side, or that even physical health is on my side. They're going to have their view, and it's not worth my time or energy to argue it. So, yay. I've also noticed I've outgrown the need to actively look up other people's transition videos as often as I used to. A lot of people that I followed, whose stories I followed a year ago, have also moved on in their transition and are talking about other aspects of their life because it no longer consumes their life. I'm finding I'm expanding out to look at just other topics entirely, social philosophies and social issues, just philosophies in general, a lot of art, a lot of podcasts, and not just trans podcasts like I used to. Like I'm ready to move a little bit beyond the whole transition taking over my life thing. A lot of my time I'm spending pushing aside some of the discomfort I feel over my body. Since surgery isn't immediately required, other than this sense of needing a hysterectomy. I don't know if it's not immediately required or if it's just I'm pushing it aside because I know that I'm not going to have guaranteed access to aftercare if I get surgery. I have a cat, and I have an apartment, and my cat is not friendly with other cats, and she's not friendly with other people. And if I get surgery and I'm out of it for a while, I'm not going to be able to take care of the cat. If I go to my parents, we can't bring the cat with, so there would have to be travel back and forth to take care of the cat. Nobody wants to take care of, nobody's expressed the willingness to take care of me post-surgery, help me with bathroom and bathing once I can bathe, stuff like that. So I've shoved top surgery aside because of that, as well as, weight issues because I don't want to go in for a bunch of revisions. I'm reluctant to get a hysterectomy because I don't know what I can do for aftercare. I do plan to talk to my social worker about options because it's getting more urgent. It's not dire at this point, but it is getting more urgent. What else wants to pop into my head to talk about? I did make a decision this year, not, I suppose it could count as a resolution, to try to be more assertive with my gender, meaning when I go out, people still call me ma'am all the time. I mean, understandably so. I look feminine. Not super feminine. I'm not, you know, mega girly in any way whatsoever. I just look butch. Like mild butch. Especially when I wear my flannel. I want to teach myself to be more assertive when people misgender me and say, please call me sir, or please refer to me as he. I kind of failed at the grocery store today. They said she, and I didn't catch it in time, and so I wasn't able to correct. Well, I was able to correct, but I didn't. And I didn't have I have my pronoun pin that I've been wearing on my flannel shirts now, and it was covered up by my coat, so I couldn't point it out. But I want to be more assertive in that, because I'm tired of going to Subway or a store or just out in general and being referred to as she, her, ma'am, miss, although I'd never get miss because I look too old. I'm tired of getting those, and I kind of die a little inside every time somebody uses them. I really wish people in the service industry would just not use them, but I know that there are also clients who come in who get upset if they're not referred to as a sir or a ma'am, which I don't understand. It's like, yes, validate me. My cisness is so in need of validation. Yeah. Other than all that, I don't have a lot going on else besides that. Yes, grammar, English, I can speak. I don't have a lot going on besides all of that. I think this, has been a half-hour video. I don't plan to edit it because, lazy. So you get a half-hour video of me rambling. But this is more for my records than anybody else's. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna end this right here.